Hello friends, this is Ganesh and video number 1 on IDOC. So in this session, probably I might go a different approach to explain this IDOC concept. In the first video, I'm not going to touch any of ALE or EDI. Instead, I'm going to explain or make you understand what is an IDOC, how the IDOC is designed for a different business scenario, and what are the transactions we have to use to see the structure of an IDOC. Because once you start working with IDOC, there are lot of transaction codes involved, so we're not able to remember everything, so we go step by step. And how to technically or programmatically how to pass the data to an IDOC structure, how to generate an IDOC, then how to read the data of an IDOC. Suppose I have an IDOC, I want to read the data from it. So this is the first day or for first video content about IDOC. Okay, so once you understand these basic steps, then we'll go to the next level, how to pass the IDOC which we generated in a system to the other one. Okay, so that is the idea which I have of this entire IDOC playlist. Hope that will help for you. Let's get into the system. First we'll go to the slides. So IDOC is nothing but an intermediate document. Most of the concept we are working on ABAP is inside your SAP. So ABAP reports, module pool programming, or you can say BDC concept, smart form, SAP script, everything is within the SAP. You have a transaction, you are going to work on it. And the first time we are going to work for a concept where we are going to send and receive the data outside of your SAP. Okay, you have a SAP system. Normally, whatever you work with SAP system, maybe that if you take the production server, and the first time we are going to send the data outside of your SAP and you're going to receive the data outside of your SAP. Okay, so that is the reason they could have named as intermediate document. So there is a document between two different system. Could be same like SAP to SAP or SAP to non-SAP. Okay, it depends. So the idea is we are going to send our data to other system with the help of an internet. Very simple. Okay, so with the help of some outside of your network, I can say outside of your network, we are going to send the data that needs to be secured. So those things we'll see quite later. So that is the idea of IDOC, intermediate document. The idea of this IDOC design is it can be readable by source and target system. Okay, so that way it's actually structured. The how the data you are sending, that can be readable by your target system. Target system might be SAP or non-SAP, whatever it is. You are able to send the data between your system to another system. So that is the whole idea of IDOC. So IDOC is nothing but transfer the business data between two different systems. Okay, so the source may be SAP and target may be SAP, or source may be SAP and target may be non-SAP. So this is a two-way communication. We call it as, technically we call it as inbound IDOC and outbound IDOC. So two different process we have in IDOC, intermediate document. So this is the way. So if you want to send, I have three different systems. If you want to send the data, this is a two-way communication. If you want to send the data from this system to this, so SAP to SAP, or SAP to non-SAP, or if you want to receive the data from non-SAP to SAP, whatever it is, I'm going to use a concept called IDOC, intermediate document. So the way how they are transferring, we are going to see little later. I'm going to explain in this session as fully about IDOC. What is IDOC, how it design, and how to read the data of IDOC, or how to generate an IDOC with your own data. So that's it. The next one is the first concept of IDOC is, if you take anything about IDOC, you know about the process now. If you want to send a business data, so business data means we have a master data, material master data, or if you have a purchase order data, or production order, sales order, or cost center master data, vendor master, customer master. We have different datas are available in SAP. So every business data, we have one message type. So that is a very beginning. Okay, so if you want to design an IDOC, or if you want to figure out a standard IDOC, that is the first step of an IDOC is a message type. So I want to send the material information. So what is a message type? Maybe MATMOS. It's designed by SAP. If you want to do a custom, you have to give whatever name you want, Z and whatever name you want. So the first step of an IDOC is message type. Just a name you have to give it. Second step would be a basic type or IDOC type. Basic type has everything, or we call it as IDOC type, meaning under the message type you can have more than one basic type. So maybe in the previous, like take an example, initial days they want to send the material information, maybe they have 120 fields, and you know, right, every version they are keep on adding the fields, depends on the business requirement. So under one message type they can have, initially they have only one basic type, then after some extension may come in the fields level, then SAP released one more basic type, another basic type. For example, currently if you take one MATMOS, material master message type, you have 5 different basic types: MATMOS 01, 02, 03, 04, 05. Okay, so under one message type you can have more than one basic type. Some scenario, some business need or requirement, you have only one basic type. So because the extension might not happen, very rare business scenarios, okay, or it's not frequently transfer the data between two systems, so they have only a very long, they are using some set of fields only for the particular business requirement. Another one is this message type and basic type are interrelated, meaning dependence. So basic type is always under the message type, so that is a hierarchy. Okay, and the transaction code I have used somewhere in most of the slides. I use the transaction codes because I don't want to explain all the transactions in one slide. So that's why if you want to see the message type, or if you want to create a message type, whatever transaction you can see, it's going to be used for standard and custom as well. So if you want to see some data of the standard message type, go to the same transaction. If you want to create your own custom message type, go to the same transaction. Okay, the same like SC11, viewing the same standard table or creating a custom table, we have used same transaction code, same concept over here as also. And basic type or IDOC type, you have 3 different transactions. These are the ways you are able to see, okay, like W30 or W19 or W60. Okay, so anything you're able to see, mostly we go with 30 and 60 because 30 has very detailed information and 60 has, it shows in the HTML with some description also, but W19 is actually a testing tool. But still, if you want, you can use it. Okay, I will show you in which level we can use W19 as well. Another one is message type. Okay, so message type and basic type. I'm going to give some examples. So if you see here, I used 30, 19, 60. If you want to see the basic type, and if you see here, I mentioned W82, meaning the relation between message type and basic type to be enabled in the transaction called WE82. Okay, so you have our independent message type, you have an independent basic type or IDOC type. So you want to make a connection between these two, you have to use a transaction called WE82. Okay, so this is a basic or standard example. So my message type is MATMOS, and these are the basic type, MATMOS 01 to 05. And this is the orders. Orders is used for purchase order. So message type for purchase order is orders. All the basic type is 01 to 05. Okay, different versions. So nothing big difference. Maybe the fields are quite different. Depends on the business. Depends on the SAP design. Excuse me. This is a vendor master, CREMAS, and these are the basic type of this particular vendor master message type. So now you have a very clean idea about what is message type and what is basic type. So especially this is a combination of structure which is going to send the data, business data between two systems. And what are the places to see the structure of the basic type? Because message type is just a name, MATMOS. It doesn't have any structure. It has only the basic types. So all the basic type has its own structure. What is structure means? If you want to send a data, you need a medium, or that medium to be designed in a such a way it could have or it could hold the data. For example, I want to send a material information to other system. What kind of fields you need? You need a material number, you need a material type, and what is the weight, what is the UOM, what is the material description. So these are, I call it as structures. Okay, so it needs some structure and it has a collection of fields also. So you need a fields, very basic idea. If you want to send a data, you need a field for it. Okay, fields for it. So if you go to W30, you can see this is a description of the transaction. Develop IDOC types. You can go and see if you want to see any standard IDOC type, go to W30. If you want to create, go to W30. W19 is a testing tool for an IDOC. There also you are able to see the structure of your basic type. W60 called as IDOC documentation. Very detailed information about your basic type is available in W60. SE11 is nothing but whatever name you are seeing, basic type name, or under the basic type name we call it as segments. Okay, technically we call it as segments, but the same name is given for the structure also. So you can go and see the fields in SE11 also. Okay, there are different ways to see the basic type. This is very important. As a programmer, we should know what is the structure of an basic type, because then only we can able to pass the values or receive the value. So purchase order, what are the information is required to pass from SAP to the IDOC structure. Okay. Then generate an IDOC. So this is very important. How to generate an IDOC? So again, I'm saying I'm not going to touch EDA, ALE, any concept here. So it's very simple. Only in a same system, I'm going to generate one IDOC. What are the steps involved in it? So first you need to collect all the structures from your basic type. So now the basic type is matmos01, for example. So what I'm going to do is matmos0, okay, I'll do one thing. I will take you to a system. At least I can show you the basic message type and basic type. Then I'll come to this slide. That'll be easy for you. Okay. Yeah, this is my system. So let me go to W81 as for message type. So it's maintain all the message types over here. It's very lengthy one. So you have almost 2258 message types are maintained here. So let me go to matmas. The position matmas. So you're able to see material master. This is the message type. And if you say orders, you will say purchase orders. Okay. And so there's no short text. CREMAS, is it correct? Yeah. This is for vendor master. And this is for material master for SDM. So a lot of message types are available. So W81 is just to see the message type alone. Okay. So logical message type. So some names they have EDA logical message type. Okay. This is a very basic, the first step of your IDOC. So next, I want to see the connection between message type and basic type W82. Then I will take you to the basic type separately. So if we go to W82, go to position, matmas. So here you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there are 5 basic types under one message type. Okay, and there is a release. What is the release of this particular basic type? Okay, so if you see, if it just keep on increasing AAD and 40A, 46C, 470, because it depends on the design. If any change is happened in material master, SAP has to release the relevant basic type as well. Okay, so that is the idea of basic type. Mostly go with the a recent one because it has all the fields it's covered. Okay, so always go with the basic type matmos05. So we need message type just for a namesake. Okay, what is the name of it? So all the structures, everything available coming under your basic type only. So now I want to go to that basic type. So WE30 basic type is matmas01. Okay, it's not a message type. Forget about message type. Message type concept is over. That's it. So once you create and have a connection between message type and basic data type, it's gone. Most of the things we are going to work with only basic type. So here enter. Okay, go to F7 display. So here it shows. So this is the structure which I am talking about. If you take any IDOC, you should know what is the structure of it. Okay. So there is a structure E1 MARAM. Mostly they connected with the table actually. So here they mentioned MARA, and this is for MAKT. This is for description. And this is another structure name MARC, MERM, MBEW, MLG, MVKE, MLN. So last one is MTHX, I believe. So this is a long text header. That's fine. So this is the basic design of your material master IDOC. If you want to send the information from one system to another system, material master business data, this is the structure you have to use to send the data. So let me go to 5. So always go with the recent ones. So you can see some more is added in 05 compared to 01. Okay. So here you have Mara, M, and here also you have Mara. So some additional informations are available over here. Okay. So this is a way you can see the data, means structure of your basic IDOC type. So this is W60. I didn't double click. I'll just come after a few slides, again the same transaction. Then I will show you the segment details. Now W19 also you can do the same. Okay, you can select this. Normally this is a testing tool, but just play around. Make yourself little comfortable with all the relevant transactions. Okay, order 05 and execute. So here also you're able to see the structure. So EDDIC, this is the structures K1 1403, and if you expand, you will get one more, maybe a dependent structure or dependent segment. Okay, we call it a segment technically. Dependent segment or dependent structure. Every structure has its own fields. Every segment has its own fields. Okay, okay. And here one part is okay. I'll go to MatMas because that gives more easier to understand. MatMas 05. Execute. Okay. So here if you double click, it will open the fields. Okay, this is actually a testing tool, so you have to enter it for a testing purpose. You have to give the information. You have to click next. For example, MET in external, not this one, I the one Mara one. Yeah, METNR external. So like you can say 1, 2, 3. And what is about version? I don't want these things. Max tool. Okay, so I have a URM each. So like this, you can able to enter serial 1, 2, 3. Just click next. So it will add it over here. Then you can add the next one. So here, character 1. This one is material text, material test, and this is English. Language is English. Okay, so this way you are able to just enter it. So you should know, right, the structure. So once you are comfortable with IDOC structure, everything is easy for you. Okay, this is in WE19. It won't work anything over here now. Just I want to show you the place where you can just enter the values also for the IDOC structure. And another area is WE60. W60 is the place where you can see very detailed explanation of your basic type, and press F7, it will show you in a different format that is actually not comfortable to see. So here they mention what is the value and what is the description of it. So the preferable option is click this HTML option. Okay, HTML format option. It open in a HTML format, which gives little easier to understand. So this is for MatMas 05, and this is the first structure offered. And what is the structure? If you click, it will take you to the structure for you, and that means the fields under this structure. Okay, technically we call a segment. Under the segment, these are the fields available. What is the field? What is the data type? What is the position, offset, everything over here. Okay, very detailed explanation. This could be easier for a technical or even a functional people also to understand under the segment what are the fields. It's same like a BAPI. If you want to create a material master, you just see what are the fields available over there in a particular structure and what is missing. If it is missing, if it is a custom one, if it is missing, we have to add it. Okay, same concept everywhere. There's a segment, a standard segment fields. Make use of it to transfer the material master data. Clear? Okay, then let me go to the slide now. Now, if you go to this slide, how to generate a IDOC. So now you have an idea about the message type and basic IDOC type. So here first what you have to do is, first step is collect all the structure. So if you take MAD01 or 05, it has different structure. Okay, I'll show you one more. If you copy this, so you can call it a segment or structure. Go to SC11. Display. So this is a fields. Here it is a structure and there it is, we call it a segment. So segment and structure names are same. So under the structure, these are the fields which we have to populate the value. Not all, depends on the need, business need, we have to populate. So material number, material date, when it created, and material type, material group. This one is MEN is unit of measure. So everything is over here. Okay, almost same, like similar like Mara table fields, but not all. Okay, this is the way you have to see. And okay, I want to show this in a segment. Go to W30, matmas05, execute, E1 MARM, right? Just double click. It will open a segment. Okay, so segment is nothing but it has some properties. We'll see this as well. And go to segment editor, you are able to see the same field. So a lot of places where you can see. So at the end of the day, you want to know what is a segment, what is the segment fields. Another technical term, what is the structure, what is the structure field. Simple. Okay, yeah, clear. So this is a structure, these are the fields we need to fill it up. And the properties, I'll show you the properties as well. Now, so here, the steps are, first collect all the structures from your basic type. So under matmas05, what are the structures available? What is required for the business need actually? We need to populate the value. Fill the data with the help of work area. Sometimes some segments can be repeat more than once. For example, text. Material text can be repeated more than once. I want English, I want Spanish or France, or French, whatever it is. Okay. So depends on your need. Your segment might have only one time or it may be repeated also. Okay. And assign the data to the standard IDOC structure. So here, this is normal. You know how to collect the structure, write a work area and everything. Another one is IDOC is not ready to read actual work area. Means there is a structure has a fields. No, it won't work for IDOC. IDOC has its own design, own structure. So once you fill your work area, you have to pass the information to that particular structure. Again, there is a structure only. Okay, again the structure, work area, or internal table, but it has a different design, different fields and everything. That you have to fill it. Once you fill, call the standard function model to generate a IDOC. So here we are talking about the concept called generate IDOC. How to generate a IDOC with the data, maybe hard-coded value, whatever it is. Okay, these are the steps. And little more technical. Collect the structures from your basic type. My matmas05 has a lot of structures, but I want only these three to fulfill the business requirement. Mara, MAKT, MARC. Simple. I want this segments or structures, whatever it is. And fill the data. So create a work area for all three and fill the data. You know how to fill the data for the work area, right? Just fill it. And there are two structures to accept the IDOC data. The first one is EDIDD. Okay, so this is the one of the structure which accept the IDOC data, and EDIDC is going to accept the data for control and communication. Excuse me. Today we are not going to talk much about control and communication, so we are going to talk only the IDOC data. So EDIDD. So you have to remember these to structure. So finally, whatever you fill your data, you have to include your work area or sorry, to this particular work area. Actually, this is actually an internal table, not work area, internal table. So you have to pass the information to this internal table. And finally, you have to call the function module. Function module is nothing but master IDOC distribute. This is the standard function model to generate the IDOC with all your information. IDOC data, IDOC control, IDOC communication data. So today we are going to skip most of the control and communication, only IDOC data we are going to see. So hope you might aware of how to generate an IDOC. Segment. So if you take a segment has its own properties. So E1, MA, RAM, we have seen the segment. Segment has an option called mandatory. So either a segment can be a mandatory or optional. So if it is a mandatory for that particular IDOC structure, you have to pass in the information to the particular segment. Otherwise, you'll get an error. And minimum number, maximum number. So how many times this particular segment can be repeated? Very rare they have to say minimum one, maximum one, meaning the segment can be populated only once. If it is minimum one, maximum 9999, can be more than once, you can able to populate, depends on the business data. And parent segment, even MARAM is not a parent, sorry, it doesn't have a parent because this is the first step of the structure, this is the first segment. So parent segment is empty. Suppose if you take the other one, depends on E1 MARAM, then the parent segment for the second one is E1 MARAM and hierarchy level. So for this hierarchy level is nothing, and if you go to the hierarchy level, next level, if you go, it shows hierarchy level 1, 2, 3, depends on the hierarchy level, it will display in your segment details. So this is segment properties. This is actually important. Before you populate the data, you should aware of the segment properties, whether the segment is mandatory or optional, it can accept more than one data, everything you have to look into that. So view IDOC W02, we have some more transaction, let's see later. W02 is the transaction where you can see the IDOC. There are three different sections you have to understand in the W02 to view the IDOC. Control record, simple technical information about the IDOC. What is the message type? What is the basic type? And is a IDOC is a inbound or outbound? What is the status? Those informations are available in control record. Data record, all the business data. Whatever segments we have seen, right? It's in the segment format. You are able to see the data in the data record. Status record is going to be say what is the actual status of the IDOC. It's fail or success or it's reached the destination. Everything coming under status record. So these three are very important when you start viewing the IDOC. How to read the IDOC? We have seen how to generate the IDOC, how to pass the data to the IDOC. Another one is I need to read the IDOC because if it is the inbound IDOC, some IDOC is coming inside to my system, I need to read the data of IDOC, then I have to do it. For a business scenario, the material master is requested, the material master to be created by a request of one third-party system. So third-party system give all the information about the material. We in IDOC format, we have to receive the IDOC, read all the material information. Then we have to use all our logic, normal internal table, fill your internal table, call a standard BAPI to create a material master data. Pass the information to the BAPI, just create a material master information. Just a material, you have to create it. Okay. So for that, you have to read the IDOC information also. You need only the IDOC number, you have to read it. Very simple. You have information called function module called IDOC read completely. There is the IDOC information. You have to give the IDOC number and few basic properties of the control informations. Then you will get everything in EDIDD. You have seen in 2 slides back. EDIDD is the structure for IDOC data. So common here, this is going to be a EDID is going to be the internal one of the table parameter in the function module, and it has a field called S data. It's a string format actually. Okay, S data. So you have to read it. This is a normal one. Once you use the function module, all the IDOC informations are filled in this S data. You can read it. That is normally how you can read what you call the nested structure. The same way you have to read it for your internal table, for your IDOC. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to generate an IDOC and how the IDOC is generated and view in WE02, and how to read the same IDOC data using the function module IDOC read completely. Okay, Okay, let's get to the system. Let's open a program. So material master, right? Let's have the segment details first. So segment is going to be matma05. So I want E1 MEARM and I want MEAKT and MEARC. So the structure name is also same. So what I'm going to do is E1 MEARAM. Okay, so first data mara type E1 mara M, right? E1 mara M. Another one is E1 MEAKTM MERCM. Okay, MEAKT type E1 MEAKTM. Next segment is MERC type E1 MERCM. Okay, this is the reason. Yep, done. So let's fill the data. Mara, control space bar. I have a MATNR M123 and Mara MTART. So here I'm just hard coding it. Normally you get the data from your database or some other different source and you can fill it so that you can aware of it, right? So Mara MEINS equal to each. So next, I need to fill this to the IDOC structure. So every record to be moved to the IDOC structure. Okay. So data that needs I can say IDOC data type EDIDD, and same thing I can say internal table because it's coming under a tables parameter in the function module. So it needs an internal table also. So type edidd underscore tt, I believe, or you can say type table of whatever it is, but here we have a table type also. Yeah, there is a table type for IDOC data records edidd underscore tt, or you can say type table of edidd, whatever it is. Here I'm saying sorry, not Mara. Okay, IDOC data, but what is a segment? So that is very important. Okay, what is the segment name? So segment name is E1 Mara M, because it will automatically understand, or I can say it can automatically arranging the data. Okay, so based on the segments, data S data. S data is a field where it accepts all the segment data like this. And finally, you have to say append WA IDOC data to IT IDOC data. IDOC data. So now let me show you this EDID structure for a verification. So here you can say docnum, segment number, segment name, and this is number of hierarchy. So those things are optional, and this is S data. S data is going to be a different data type, LCAR, kind of string. So it's going to hold the entire data. So it depends on the segment name, it will recognize, okay, these are the data going to be added in this particular segment. Okay. And now I'm going to do the same for MAKT. So MAKT I'm going to repeat more than one, and MAKT is what do you call, the segment property is 1 to 999. I'll show you that also. So MAKT X is material 1 and its language is going to be E. Okay, so here the same thing to be repeated, but different segment name. Segment name is MAKT. Okay, and I'm going to repeat this. So the segment is going to be repeated more than once. So material 1, I can say D, rest all same. Okay, and finally I want WAMARC and plant. I just give only one, 4000, because it is easy to understand, so I don't want to waste your time adding more data. Okay, that's it. Sorry, I missed this part. Okay, so the segment name is MARC. That's it. Any errors so far? No. Okay, and finally I'm going to call the function module. Function module is master IDOC distribute. This one. Enter. Okay. So it needs the IDOC control, basic IDOC control we have to give, because these are not optional, these are mandatory segments, at least some empty information to be passed. So master IDOC data we have filled already, ID, IT underscore IDOC data. And this one we have to pass the information. Let me master IDOC control. So nowadays it's coming with the new syntax, it's declaration, everything is available. So let me enable that. Enable this also. Okay, and two things to be passed in the control data, at least communication. Currently you can keep it as empty. It's like it create an IDOC. So our intention is to create an IDOC. It's failure or success is secondary. Okay, it needs to create an IDOC. So now I'm going to pass the data for master. I use the same name, otherwise you can change to work area as per the naming convention, you can do it. So here I'm going to see what is the message type. So what is a message type? Message type is the first one, matmas. And what is the basic type? Master IDOC control. Okay, doc type. Matmas 05. Okay. That's it. Now the communication is empty. This has the data and it has a very basic, actually we have to pass many information, but now I want to generate an IDOC, simple. So just execute your program. There is no output, nothing, because I don't have any write statement, any other informations. So now go to W02. Okay, and you can give a filter over here. If you know the IDOC number, if you know the basic type, if you know the message or logical message information. So if you know anything, you can give it if you have more data, but currently I believe it doesn't have any data. Let's execute, we'll see. Yes, only one information available. It got created and it's red. Obviously it's red because nothing we configured, right? So here you have a control record. Currently whatever you're seeing is a control record. If you double click, it will take you a little more. What is the basic type you used? Matmas 05. What is the message type for this Matmas? This is very basic of any IDOC. Okay, and what is the partner? We didn't configure anything. So these things we'll see quite later. And what is the IDOC number? It's 90001. And this IDOC direction is outbound, meaning we are sending the information to outside of your SAP. And the error will be error in ALE service. So we didn't do anything about ALE, so just leave it. And come to data records, expand it. So here E1 MARAM, just click, you'll get the data. Whatever data we hard coded, it shows here. And expand this because MAKT and MARC are dependent on MARA, right? Design level. Okay. So here they mention segment 1, 2, 3, 4. Here MAKT is repeated more than once. This is the data is not correct. MARC, I believe I did some mistake in my program. Let's see. Maybe in the copy paste. Yes, right. So the data used Mara for all the segments, right? So here it's Mara and here it's MAKT. And here also it's MAKT repeated. And here it's MARC. Okay. Activate. Execute again. Now it will create one more IDOC. Probably it's 90002. F8. Done. Go to IDOC. Display. Go back. Now execute. So two IDOCs, 901 and 902. Here also you'll get some information. What is the basic type matma05? What is the message type? What is the direction? When it got created, date and time. Okay, so if it is more than one, just double click. And here, second one, I just clicked it now. So go to data records, Mara details, write MAKT. Yeah, so here English, material 1, and here it shows D, material 1, and this is MARC, so plant information, works and plant informations. Okay. So here its segment is repeated because if you see W30, you can see now, go to W30. Display. So MAKT, double click. So it shows minimum 99, minimum 1, maximum 99. Hierarchy is 3, as 3 because MathMath 05 is 1, this is 2, this is 3, hierarchy level. Okay. So if you open Mara, the hierarchy is 2 under the MathMath 05. This is a hierarchy 1, this is a hierarchy 2, 3. And you open this, it should be hierarchy 4. If you open this, hierarchy 4. Okay, so here I mentioned clearly minimum 1, maximum number 1. So this segment cannot be repeated more than once. So even if you try to repeat, you will get an error. Okay, so these are very important basic information for a developer before populating a data to any standard or custom IDOC informations. Okay. And the final one would be the function module where we can read the data. What is the function module? IDOC read completely. Okay. We have other options also. We have some tables, so directly you can go and read. We'll see quite later. These are very simple options, so I'm going with that initially. And execute. Give the IDOC number. IDOC number would be 90002. And okay, 1 second, go back. So from here I can copy and Control V, execute. Okay, so IDOC control data, it comes. What is the data? Document number, IDOC number. These are the status, and those informations are coming over here. What is your partner number and those things? We'll see these are later. And number of data records and number of status records. Number of status records, those information, kind of header information. And we have to look into this EDIDD. So there are 4 records. So if you open it, it will come to know Mara 1, MAKT 2, and MARC 1. Okay, so S data has all the information. So just click and go to column. Go to S data. It will show the informations over here. ME3, R, and each and everything. Okay. So just try to read this to a normal internal table and just do whatever you want after reading the information from your IDOC data. This is a normal ABAP. Probably it could be easy for you. Just try. If not, let me know. I'll help you on it. So this is very basic introduction about IDOC. So what is IDOC? How the IDOC look like? What basic information we should know Either you're a technical or functional, you should know what is the message type, what is the basic IDOC type, what are the structures required, and that whether all the business need data can be sent through this IDOC type or not. Whenever there is a challenge, whether depends on the business need and the basic IDOC type is not matching, then we go with the custom one. So everything you have to design with the custom, or you can, there are 2 or 3 fields are missing, you can enhance the IDOC. It's a common one in SAP. If you nothing works the standard, you have an option to enhance. Same way you can enhance your IDOC as well. Okay, and programmatically these are the way to generate an IDOC. You can see W02 and you can play around with the data, segment, structure, fields. Once you feel comfortable with the IDOC, so I can say this is almost 60 to 70% of the work we have to do. Populate the IDOC, receive the IDOC, read the informations, and push it whatever depends on the business need. Okay, and remaining 30% is going to the configuration. So how you're going to receive, how you're going to send, what is a port, partner profile, what are the things we can do over there. So that is very simple. So just go ahead and play around and create some IDOCs. Let me know if you have any doubts, and thank you so much for your time. See you in the next video. Bye.